at 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, should one of those times ever come. So you may get a little notice on your screen and it's completely anonymous to you. Trust me, right? Hey kids, it is the autumnal equinox. The daylight period is equal to the evening period, and we're 3/4 of the way around the sun. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? Nice fall day, a nice hybrid. Close your eyes for a moment and consider that we've been 3/4 around the sun together. I always love the equinoxes. I think they're propitious days. What goes on in the sky and the proximity of the earth obviously exerts a tug on our being. Drop your chin. There goes my ride. If you heard it, perfect timing. Okay, in today's prayer, affirmation, intention, invocation, God, love, source, being, science, power, whatever you like to be called, bless us with the perfect practice tonight, an intuitive, innate wisdom that allows us to move in the most optimal way. Amen. Okay, joint juice. I got some interesting movements we haven't done for a while, but we'll get the basics in. I could live the rest of my life on the fundamentals, right? If you're good at anything, piano, golf, whatever it is, you're always in touch with the fundamentals, right? And you actually enjoy them. You've done them so much, they don't bother you anymore. Other way. 3, 4. Although it is the first day of fall, it's going to heat up on us again, huh? 90-degree weather coming. So nice Indian summer coming. 6, 7, and an 8. Well, good job. Inhale. 3 poofs. A poof, some of you are new. You go up your back, you go behind your neck, and you actually say poof because it's silly and it's partially ridiculous. Poof. Now, maybe we don't want to be childish, but we never want to lose our childlike qualities. And poof, because who has the most fun? Kids. All right. Now, switch the cross the other way. Pull back on your buns. Come forward just about halfway. I know some of you are exceptionally foldy people. You could be on the cover of Yoga Magazine. So today, leave a little space, relax your shoulders. And since it's Wednesday, we're cultivating that calm and peaceful countenance. Relax your hair. If I was there, I'd rub your temples and massage your scalp and stuff. In all the world that heals us, it could very well be the thing that heals us the most is simply becoming still, open, and receptive to the inflow of life force. Will people do it? Generally not. Yogis will. Come on up, kitty cats. Good job. All right. You can go back to the other cross if you want. This is the cross that makes me happy. By the way, I cannot recommend these really big yoga blocks enough. They're having a sale on them at Yoga Direct, a big sale on the big ones. So maybe you're older than 20 years old and the floor is getting further away. So you want the whopping big blocks, and they're 12 inches tall, 5 inches by 5 inches, 12 by 5 by 8. I recommend them. Do I get a kickback from them for selling them online? Not yet. All right. Now, take your right fingers back left corner of your skull, tilt your head to the right. And we're just going to add the tincture of time. Close your eyes. Life is what happens when we're busy making other plans. Drop your chin, shoulders heavy. And we're going to do the best of self-care tonight. Let's consider one thought from a great world scripture. You cannot, by taking thought, add 1 cubit to your measure. So we don't always have to be thinking all the time. Figuring things out, analyzing, taking care of 1,000 details every day. When you discover the inner world and the interconnection, 1,000 daily details can just drop away because you know everything is always working out for you. Good, and we'll poke our head back up. Poke. Left finger's back right corner. Tilt the figuring it out center over to the left. Drop your chin. Let the executive front center of your brain melt out. Relax your mouth. Close your eyes. We are calm and patient souls. Everything is working out in perfect timing. Does it always seem that way? Of course not. Judge not appearances. Judge the truth. Two more breathings. Sinking in. S-Y-N-C-I-N-G. Sinking in. Okie dokie. And release that. Bring her back up. Ooh, I felt that one. Now, just 4 head rolls at 0.5 speed. Do you ever watch YouTubes at 0.5 speed? The people sound drunk. It's hilarious. If you ever need a laugh, find somebody really serious and intellectual and watch their YouTubes at 0.25 speed. You will laugh. 3 and 4. 4 the other way. Of course, on the other hand, you can take somebody serious and intellectual and play them at 1.75 speed, and they sound like the chipmunks. 3 and 4. Relax your head down for 22 seconds. Shoulders relax. Ujjayi breathing at the back of your throat. We're just rising above the strata of the mind where it's moving rapidly. We're moving to higher, more subtle realms, very much in the way that our atmosphere is divided into the thicker, denser air that moves a lot down low to the stratosphere, 70,000 feet up. The air is so light, so subtle, no clouds. Okay, we'll chant Om. If you're new, you don't have to chant Om, but I recommend it. It's exceptionally good for you. Inhale. Okay, our second forward fold, now that our legs are back to the original cross, just halfway forward, please. If you do go forward, I'm not saying don't go all the way. I'm saying make a really interesting exploration of the feeling in your body if you were to move forward. In other words, be judicious, be prudent, If you've been at this game for a while with me, you're beginning to notice the gaps in between the thoughts. And I know many of you already know that. I'm just saying that as an affirmation. The mind simply stops and thinking stops. And it's not nothing. It's like looking at the Grand Canyon when you see it for the first time, or Yosemite. Okie dokie, and come on up. Good job. Okay. Now let's enliven things a little. Let's stretch the front nervous system by hands behind and bottoms up. Plunge pelvis up. If you're hella bendy, you can rocket ship hiney to heaven. If you're stiff as a boiled owl, just a little bit. If I've learned anything after doing yoga for 50 years now, it's you just got to visit it a little bit every day. Come on down. That's infinitely more valuable than killing ourselves once a month or something. Okay, back up a little bit. And hands out, lean into your hands. One more basic with the pause. So important though. I did yoga last night at the Pleasant Hill Senior Center. We're having fun. That's a growing class. You're always invited if you'd like. And a friend came by, I hadn't seen her for a long time. She's hypermobile. She's as flexible as any human I've ever seen, and the nicest person, and they're not mutually exclusive, but the heels of her hands just come all the way down, and she never couldn't do it. And she's just a regular person like the rest of us. We all get born into some kind of body, some kind of karma. If you got all of your key limbs and your brain and your nervous system, we're way ahead of the game. Gratitude is good. Okay, sufficient. And roly-poly them out. Other way. And a shake. And a flippy flop. Cup your hands at your beautiful heart. Yes, your beautiful heart. Drop your chin. Let's feel those three amazing words: holy, sacred, and reverent. Eating broccoli and Brussels sprouts is really good for us. Feeling holy, sacred, and reverent is really, really good for us. Okay, then a little twist, and then we'll get going with a couple of our poses. So pause up. Knuckles on your head, knuckleheads. See how that cools off your shoulders? Keeps your t-shirts all happy. I'm wearing my big yellow t-shirt. Stretch up. Turn right, turn right, turn right. Right hand, left hand, right knee, sorry, right arm behind you. Easy twist. We'll do stronger ones in a few moments. Now make the bottom of your spine move in a little bit. And shoulder blades relax. Chin level, eyes closed. Feel your feels. Be your bees. Do your do's. Pay your dues. Pay your dues. Be your bees. Have your haves. Good. That is sufficient for tonight. And switch the cross. Every move is a precursor to something else and thorough and complete in and of itself. So we switched the cross of our legs. We laced one finger over to reverse our polarity and to connect our corpus callosums. Knuckles on your head, knuckleheads. It's a term of endearment. Some people mostly show up for Wednesday yoga. They like the calm and peaceful brand. Some people are the Monday people. They like the frisky, heart-beating stuff. And A lot of you show up for both. It's a good weekly blend. Push up and really extend up. Now lift your shoulders somewhat stridently. That's a good word, stridently. Not sure it's the right word. Do you ever use the wrong word? I do. Relax your shoulders. Now turn left, right hand, left knee, left arm behind you, and squeeze the stuff out of yourself. 60% of our practice is the timing and the duration. 30% is the pose itself. 20% is the efficiency of movement, and 10% is the math. Do not add that up. Good, kids, and release out of that. Very good. Stretch your legs out, wiggle them out. Now, one of the reasons I like my big blocks is that I can't really kneel right now. And I got a knee thing and I can do everything else. It's amazing what I can do. I can't do a sharp kneeling position. So some of you, that's not a problem at all. And I don't want to deny you your practice. So what I recommend, if kneeling is an issue, is that you put a block or two underneath your bottom parts like this. So here I am kneeling on my right side, and here I am squatting on my left foot. Now, if I were to take the blocks out of the way and bring my butt cheeks to the left and put them both down on the floor, my ankle would bend more here and my knee would bend more here. Be that as it may, do what you can. Then, having gotten in half kneeling, half squatting, pull your heel in as far as you can. And yes, you bendy friends who can get your booty cheeks on the floor, great. And just lean over your left thigh. Lean all of your weight over your left thigh and cultivate as much developing sensation at the back of your left leg as you can, AKA your calf and Achilles tendon. Of course, if you're kneeling all the way down, your right knee and right ankle are getting a very strong bend. You're compressing your body. My teacher called this Longana Kriya. I'd never heard that before I met him. Longana Kriya means the science of getting small. It's a very important thing to keep your compressive, being able to get small like a little kid poses. Now, if we were Russian dancers, they would be able to actually put all their weight into their left foot and stand up out of this pose because of their tremendous strength and ankle mobility. We're not going to ask that. You might even feel the thin little muscles on the front of your left shin say hello. They're called your tibia and anterior tibialis. There we go. It's in there. We've absorbed a lot of information over the years, haven't we, kids? 2 more breaths. I bet you're feeling this, and it's doing such good things for you. Trust me. Okay, now from here, unless you're parked way up high like I am, I bet you can get your arms behind you just back here. Having gotten your arms behind you back here, what you could do then is simply lift up in half camel, keeping your right knee and your left heel down and lifting up as a beautiful counter pose. And then as you sink down, you're back in the original pose. This is a seed pose, also known as bija, B-I-J-A. Now, a nice twist comes out of this. Right arm up, kids. Some good yin compressive yoga. Now, take left paw, push left knee kind of over to the right, just to get the idea. Turn left, come forward and hook your elbow outside your knee as as deeply as you can. Now, look, if you were to straighten your right arm, see that? And hook your right hand underneath your left heel, that would be a stronger pose, but it's Wednesday. Now, fold your left arm behind your back and turn to the left. Now, if you're doing this in the full kneeling position with your right knee, that's an advanced yoga position. If you're just doing one of these variations that I've recommended, you're getting as much of the benefit as you can at this phase of your life, which is good. That is good stuff. Two more breaths. The healing takes place when you're not doing nothing. Good, you guys. Now, slowly come out of a stronger twist like that. And now from here, wherever your buns are, you just bring your left knee in and kind of grab it like that, okay? Now, maybe you can just barely straighten your left leg out like that. That's it. You're a very tight person and you're repenting. You want to get flexible again. So you just stretch your leg out like that and you're like, wow, I got tight, but you're getting better. Otherwise, you bring your knee all the way in, you grab your big toe with your left two fingers, and you just straighten it out and bring it up as high as you can. Now, in this pose, you sit bold and dynamic rather than slouchy and lazy. You sit up and you just bring your leg up as high as you can. Then we inhale and bend the left knee. That makes things soft. And then we baya kumbhaka. We push the air out. 1, 2, 3. We inhale, things get soft. Exhale, straighten. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Now rebend it and then set it down again. Now from here, just drag your right foot out. Now, if you were sitting on the floor, dragging your right foot out, I admit, was very hard. And now, if you're not using blocks, you're just squatting on the floor. This is why most adults need to sit on a little something, and we just squat, hug, lean forward into your feet. This is the kind of very simplistic, it's simple, but it's not easy, especially for a lot of people older than, say, 25. The stuff just doesn't work anymore. Yet I know people who are 70 and 80 and 90 years old, they can still do all this, and some people that are 20 that can't. So chronology helps, but it's not the whole thing by any means. Good. Now from here, showing your aplomb and alacrity, come up and take this left shin and fold it in over here. See how clever that was? Now, I'm the first to admit to do that sequence without your butt lifted is challenging, but some of you probably have no problem with that whatsoever. And I want to make sure that you are able to do what you can do. Pull your right heel in as far as you can, and then lean the entirety of your body weight over your right thigh. Done properly, built properly, this pose will stretch your bottom calf muscle. It will bend your left knee, increase it. It'll stretch your left ankle into plantar flexion. It's a forward fold. It's calming. It builds patience, which I have zero interest in. I want everything right now. No waiting. Get out of my way. If you don't like the way I drive to yoga class, get the hell off the sidewalk. Do you see how rarely this gets stretched? Do you see why NBA players that make $40 million a year still snap their Achilles tendons? Because you can do a lot of other work on yourself, but if this large tendon is not irrigated and stretched, snap, especially if you're really hypermuscular. This pose always reminded me of that statue by Rodin, the thinker. He's trying to remember where he left his clothes. Good, you guys are being patient. I appreciate only mature adults do this pose. Okay, come up. Now we'll mercifully counterpose. Now to do that, if you got nothing underneath your bum, you just bring your hands back here and you hydraulically press your buns up. Otherwise, hands back, hips up, Ardha Ustrasana, half camel, plunge, buns to ceiling, high knee to heaven, lift up, chest two, and sink down and recompress. That's a nice respite after being all foldy, isn't it? Now, take this right knee and smooch it to the left a little bit. Reach up to the sky with your left hand. Now, turn very much left while I'm right, while still upright. Then come forward. Last night, my hypermobile friend in class, she brought her shoulder over to the right side of her knee, and that's just crazy talk. Now, if you can reach down and grab your heel, I could, but I've lifted my bun too high. Now turn right and enjoy a long spine, turn, twist to the right while your lower body is in this compression. Now, there are a million things going, there are more than a million things going on in our nervous system while you do this, and they're all coordinating, becoming coherent, syncing together, getting in alignment. And about 99.9% of the joy of life simply comes from alignment. The 0.01% is, yeah, you got to do some stuff. Inhale here. Exhale here, because there's no place else to go. Come out of this. Now you exceedingly stiffy bears. Right knee just pulls in and you're like, holy crap, I forgot and I got really tight. And you just, oh, you barely stretch it out. You found your tribe. Otherwise, you circus performers or ex-circus performers, grab your great toe on the right side and ding. Now, if my life depended on it and it was, my teacher was here, I'd lift it up higher and straighten it out more, but I'm just trying to be a calm and peaceful person. Inhale and bend your right knee. Exhale, push the air out, AKA Baya Kumbhaka. Now suffer with me. 1, lift it. 2, 3, and rebend it. Big, happy, soft inhale. I like this part. Exhale, fierce, disciplined warrior yogis. 1, 2, 3, and bring it back in for landing. And now, challenge for you ones who are kneeling, drag your left foot out, bring your feet and knees together, and just lean down into your squatting pose as tight as you can. You can hear my breath being squeezed out. I think personally about 50% of human disorders and physical maladies would be resolved just by squeezing our bodies, squeezing, moving, irrigating, squishing organs, twisting flesh, wringing ourselves out. Very good. Now, a good counterpose from such a compressive thing would be first to arrive on your buns. You might already be there. Extend your legs out in front of you. On your back, And then just widen your legs out, which feels good after having them all squished in. So legs up and whoosh out to the side. Yay. And now our ankles, which have just been taking the brunt of our body weight, will spin. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now lift up your head so I can see this. Now the one thing we'll always do on Wednesday is we have to keep our core strength very strong. So 10, 9, just some little crunchies. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, let's roll up. I want to talk to you for just a sec. You didn't come for a talk, I know that, but I want to show the two options for the next pose because it's a big fork in the road. In fact, it's such an important topic that I had to have a quick sip. So, next pose is going to be called Jathartha Pavaritasana. It means stomach turning pose. Nice name, huh? Here are the two options. Stay up so you can see the two options. If your core strength is lacking, you lace your hands behind your head, your knees come in, you put a block in between your knees, preferably a foam one, and we're going to go this way, elbows stay down, knees come in, and the knees go this way, elbows stay down. Now, the stronger version, if you're up for it or down for it, would be legs up, arms out, palms down. And when you go down, your straight legs come down and hover above the floor. Then you inhale them up, and you were to be bringing them down on this side. Under control, you don't want to be a flopper. You got it? So, would you lie on your back, please? Now you make the big decision. Am I going to do the knee bent or the legs up version? If your knees are bent, hands behind your head, elbows glued to the floor, and immovable plastic block in between your knees. If your legs are up, your legs are up, arms are out, palms down. Now legs down to the left as close as you can get them without your shoulders moving or your elbows. Do it under control. Lift it back up. Now down on the right, the pace is smooth and even. We'll do it 1,000 times, just kidding. Down on the left. Inhale up. Down on the right. If you can only do a little bit, that's all that God wants you to do. You do the possible. Inhale up. Down, under control. Really good for you. Twisting. Inhale up. Down on the left, I think. Man, you get the good at this one. Your abdominal wall will be the envy of all of your friends. Down on the right. Inhale up. 990 to go. Just kidding. It's easier when you do them in a group and you know other people are just hating this right along with you. Inhale up. One more left. Inhale up. Now on this one, down and to the right, just continue all the way down to the right. Your legs will come in for a landing. Your left shoulder might lift, and let your torso relax open to the left. If your legs are straight, you might even reach out with your right hand and grab one of your big toes and straighten your legs if you're bendier than an average bear. Average bears are more than welcome in this class. All the bears are welcome. And the end of class, we get a picnic basket. Relax your torso open to the left. Your spine might go crack, crack, crack. If you're doing the straight-legged version, your spine is long and there's a sharp angle at your hips and your legs are straight and your ankles are dorsiflexed. Inhale your legs back up, whether they're straight or bent. Good job. Now, similarly, all the way down on the side. And then your legs will pin down by gravity. Your torsi will remove, release, relax, reopen to the right. Bendies might reach with left two peace fingers and grab one of them great toes and really straighten the legs and the spine. Breathe into it. On your next naturally occurring inhalation, bring the legs up on inhale. That's a good idea, huh? Now bring your knees into your chest. Lift your head, widen your knees so I can see you. Extend your lefty leg out, correct? Bring your righty knee all the way in. Bendies, put your right elbow around your right knee. Really bendies, put your left elbow around your right knee. But then rest your head and shoulders back down. If I get my left elbow up over my right knee, and then rest my torso and head and extend my left leg out, I feel that to be pretty strong pose. Then the flank of your right hip releases open, groins cut in, chin drops. So yeah, we're being passive, but we're being active enough to keep our bodies dynamic, healthy, strong. Okay, now release righty knee, lift up head, so you got a lot of lasso, right leg all the way down. Now, stiffy bears, hands over your knee, pull the knee in, maybe put a block underneath your head. Dang good yoga, dang good yoga. Bend to your bears, left elbow over your left knee. Super bendies, right elbow up over your left knee. That's too much for my knee on this side. And rest your torso down. And I want you to drop your chin, shoulders relax, right thigh bone, actually exerting down into the earth. Hold here. Can you feel the juncture of the base of your abdomen, hips, groins, and the inseam of your top of your left leg just deepening down in? There's a lot of fluid that flows through there, a lot of blood, a lot of lymph, and we want to keep those pipes and channels open. Otherwise, stuff goes to hell in a handbasket. Okay, now bring both knees in and let's roll up, okay? Good job. Haven't done that sequence for a while, and let's follow it up with another interesting one that's really good. Now, we're going to do Setu Bandhu Sarvangasana. That means supported bridge pose. Everybody can do it. I don't teach a really extreme version of it. I just think if you have one or two blocks and you were to set them in front of you, you'd be off to a really good start. Now I'm going to spin my body. You shouldn't unless you want to. I'm spinning sideways because now I'm going to show it from the side. And I think all of you have done this with me, but I want to do a version that's reasonable, that you just get a nice block underneath your sacrum, the triangle shaped bone at the base of your spine. Maybe you're a really flexible person. I'm going to turn my block up. That's why I love these big blocks, because now this is the 8-inch side, and now my hips are lifted 8 inches. Now I could turn the block up to 12 inches, but I have things to do tomorrow. So I was wondering if you would indulge me by just getting here with the block securely stationed underneath your triangle shaped sacral bone. Then you bring your knees in so your thighs are pointing straight up and down, and then you extend your legs up to the ceiling. And this is that wonderful famous yoga pose, Viparita Karani.
and it's fabulous for circulation. It heals very close veins. Now you want to feel that arch of your spine. You want to keep a nice, firm, stable set of hips and this slight arching of your chest. You don't want to be slack or slouchy in your guts. You just want to have a firm abdomen to support your legs. Legs up. Do not turn your head in this pose. If you fatigue, simply bring your legs down. But it's also an indication that you can build some newfound strength and the ability to keep your legs up for at least a minute or so. If everybody in all the senior centers was doing this kind of stuff, they'd be out goofing around all day long, okay? They'd be out walking or golfing or bowling or pickleball or something rather than just sitting around all day. That is not a good fate. Let's not do that. Now, widen your legs out into on your back, supported bridge, Upavishta Konasana. Because of the arch in your spine, your legs feel more leverage, and that's the good news and the bad news. We shan't be here forever. Any pose can be modified by your own duration. I'm going to go super wide because I like showing off. Good, now squeeze your legs back together. As you do, hella wrap your left thigh over your right as strongly as you can. And you freaks of nature who can bring your left foot underneath your right foot, which I can almost do again, do that. And then very slowly bring your right foot down to the floor. Now, I'm pretty sure that I invented this sequence, and it gets your hip flexors to stretch and to move and to release in ways that 98% of us just never, ever stretch. So just rest in this one as much as you can. Direct the breathing from the chest into the lungs. You're doing great. Boy, this is exactly what I needed. We prayed at the start of the class to be guided, and I believe that when you pray, you receive answers. You probably feel some stretch and some activity at the front of your hips, huh? Especially if your knees and ankles are crossed. Now, for quick bonus points, this is fully optional. By pushing into your right foot and your shoulder blades, can you lift your butt up off of the block and stretch up? Woo! We never stretch that. And sink your bum down. Now, bring your knees in and uncross them, and simply to be aiming your legs back up to the ceiling. Yes? 30 seconds, reverse course of circulation. This relaxes your heart. Really good for blood pressure. It's good for your parasympathetic nervous system, feeling calm and relaxed. Big inhale together of the same breath. Exhale and widen out, because maybe you can't do the full side splits, but you can do what you can do. And the lift of the hips leverages your legs out to exciting new places. Everybody wants to go to a vacation on the other side of the planet. Have you visited your body lately? Good, now squeeze your legs in together. Extra wrap your right thigh as savagely over your left as you can. And then gracefully slink your right foot behind your left foot because you can. And now lower your left foot in as slow as the lunar module landed on the moon. Some of us remember that. June 20th, 1969. Some of you weren't even a twinkle in your parents' eyes yet. We'll hold this one for about 45 seconds. All this leverage is going to work deeply into the structure and levers of your hips. Okay, now this is optional for fighter pilots. Push into your left foot and exert your buns up as high as you can off of the block. Oh boy, that is a challenge. Good, now bring the buns down if you did lift them. Now, just put your feeties on the floor, knees together. No big. Now crawl your feet forward as far as you can, keeping your feet flat on the floor. And we're going to pretend our thighs are strapped together with a yoga strap. Some people don't go that far forward. Others can straighten their legs with their toes down. Whatever. Hold here. Good, now bring your feet back into neutral. Bring your left knee in and straighten your left foot up to the ceiling, keeping your right foot down. Now, theoretically, our left leg could come all the way over our body and the toes could hit the floor above our head, keeping your right foot down on the other side. That is somewhat unlikely. So just yin it, just keep your right foot exerting into the floor. Draw your left leg over straight. Just do what you can. You do not have to do what other people do because you can't do what other people do. Good, now bend that left knee. Bring both feety pies in for a landing side by side. Bring your feet in as far as they'll go. Bring right knee in. Extend right leg up to the ceiling with right toes pointed up. And then you could bring the right leg all the way over like any average Romanian 13-year-old gymnast. Keep your left foot flat. The upper body, the neck, back, and shoulders, passive, uninvolved. And if you visit the end of your capacity, you accrue all the benefits. You do the possible, yoga will do the impossible. Good, now rebend your right knee. Bring your right footy foot in for a landing. Now, lift up your bum and leave it up such that you can move the block out of the way, but leave the bum up. Place your hands underneath your back and let's pooch our hips up high as we can. Hold here. Now, in a moment, we're going to bring our buns down to the count of 10. Remove your hands out of the way. 10, lowering 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the perfect pose after this with buns down, feet together, knees out, and Supta Baddha Konasana. I like to grab my elbows, frame my head with my elbows, and we're very much in the home stretch. We've done a lot of yoga, but please give yourself the benefit of the knees widening, the bum down now, shoulders up over your, elbows up over your head, and just, I'm going to come over with a pizza dough roller and I'm just going to roll you out, okay? Going to roll it over your tongue, over your thighs, over your face. Sorry. Now, kids, all you do is you bring your knees in together. You find your blanket or your bolster. You put it where your knees go. When your knees go back, oh yeah, and your arms angle out, and you smooch your bottom around a little bit, get any dents out of your bum, wiggle your legs. And you did the deal, you guys, and it's Wednesday, so we're going to do a full 7-minute Shavasana. And please let the accrual of well-being sink into your body. And it's starting to get chilly because it's the autumnal equinox. So cover yourself with blankets or pets. But I would like it personally if you would indulge me and relax more than you ever have in your whole life. Don't forget to swallow. I'm coming over to your house, going to rub your temples for you. I'm going to pick up your feet from the other side of your body and shake your body out. And then I'm going to let your legs back down. And then I ain't going to bother you for 6 minutes. Relax, relax.
Good. Now downshift into even way deeper, relax, release, surrender, leave your body. And since it's a propitious day, the autumnal equinox, let's go to the Church of Greg if you'd like and invite God, love, source, being, infinite, higher organizing principle in, if you like that. God loves to be invited in to collaborate and cooperate and create with us. Good. And if you prayed that simple prayer with me, take a nice deep breath and wiggle your fingers and toes and circulate your daily bread, your love, peace, joy, wisdom, truth, beauty, mercy, forgiveness, creativity, inspiration, joy, and love through yourself. Good. And then draw your knees in and slowly curl onto your right side. Movements are slow, peaceful, and patient as we cultivate the deep connection on the inside that's so good for us. It's the spiritual hug we all need. Good. Now, keeping creamy filling on the inside, we'll sit up with eyes closed, nice and slow. Reoccupying our physical body. It's a fun vehicle to ride around in, isn't it? It's an amazing, amazing thing. We'll be alive for eternity, but this physical body is one of a kind. And sitting up again, we'll bring our hands into our heart and we'll drop our chin. Thanks to the one with a capital O that brings us all together. All together we say, Namaste.